Hi guys, today we are going to talk about the interim budget which was launched by Piyush Goyal yesterday, and we are going to share some of the points that were discussed there. We have with us Ishan, who is the co-founder at Groww, and he'll be helping us assess the details of the budget. So Ishan, tell us what is the most important thing that Piyush Goyal said in that budget that will have the most impact on salaried people?
So one big thing that happened was Piyush Goyal effectively reduced taxes for people who have lower income. Anybody who has an income below 5 lakh rupees now will get 100% rebate. I'll explain you a bit because earlier also there was a rebate, but that rebate was below 3.5 lakh. That means if your income is below, that is taxable income, there is a difference that if you do savings, then your taxable income actually reduces. So from that perspective, if your income was below 3.5 lakh, you are getting that rebate. Now that rebate has been increased from 3.5 lakh till 5 lakh rupees. So actually, if anybody who has an income higher than 5 lakh, the taxable income, he doesn't get the benefit. But anybody who has a taxable income less than 5 lakh, he has to pay zero tax. So I'll explain how it will work. So somebody who is, let's say, having an income of 4.5 lakh, if you look at his taxation, he has to pay 5% on 2 lakh rupees, which effectively is 10,000 rupees. Now what Piyush Goyal is saying that this 10,000 rupees will be subtracted from your taxable income and effectively your tax becomes zero. So what is happening is, if your income is, let's say, 5.5 lakh taxable income, then you have to pay 5% on 2.5 lakh, which becomes 12,500, and then 20% on 50,000 rupees, which is 10,000. So if your taxable income is 5,50,000, you will pay tax of 22,500 rupees. So there is a huge difference if you are a person whose taxable income is slightly above 5 lakh versus a person who is slightly lower 5 lakh. So it will be best if your income is slightly above 5 lakh, try to reduce it, and there are a number of ways to do that. So one very simple way is ATC. So ATC is basically savings under section ATC includes, you can invest in ELSS fund, you can invest in PPF, you can invest in EPF, you can invest in tax-saver FDs, you can invest in post office deposits. So there is number of ways under ATC where you can get the benefit of this 1.5 lakh. Now let's assume your salary is even higher, you are looking at somewhere around 7 lakh. So 1.5 lakh is also not enough. Actually, one thing which we haven't talked about is there's another thing that happened was standard deduction. So this is standard deduction specifically for the salaried guys, which effectively means that the cost that we incur when we travel to office, the cost that we incur if we have any medical conditions and stuff. So there is effectively used to be around 40,000 deduction till last year. That deduction has increased to 50,000 now. So that 50,000 also you can deduct from your income. So effectively a 7 lakh guy with ATC plus 50,000 deduction doesn't have to pay any taxes. Now if there are other ways also to save tax, one is NPS. With NPS, if you invest up to 50,000 rupees, that also you can deduct from your income. Then there is another thing which is called medical insurance, so health insurance. So any premium that you are paying up to 50,000 rupees on health insurance for you or your family, you can take the claim on that as well. So effectively another 50,000. So effectively now 8 lakh, till 8 lakh you don't need to pay taxes. I don't know if with that kind of income how will you buy a house, but if you are able to buy a house and you are paying home loan, then in under home loan there is a provision where 2 lakh of interest that you are paying will be tax deductible. So effectively till 10 lakh rupees there is a possibility, even virtually, but till 10 lakh rupees you might not pay tax. So the major impact, think about the people, right? So there are even Piyush Goyal talked about there are around 3.8 crore people who used to pay taxes 5 years ago. Today there are 6.8 crore people who are paying taxes. There's a huge increase, and a lot of these people are in that bracket. So that this change that Piyush Goyal has kind of given us will impact 3 crore people. So 3 crore out of 6.8 crores means 40% of the taxpayers today doesn't need to pay any taxes. So which is a huge benefit for taxpayers, specifically people who are under salaried class, who are actually earning honest money. They don't need to pay any taxes.
So this is great news for salaried people who are in the middle class, because in theory now, anyone who earns up to rupees 10 lakhs doesn't have to pay any taxes. So this is, extremely good news. So when the budget was announced, the market was really rising at a point, and even before the budget was released, we saw an uptick in the markets. So Ishan, can you give us a perspective of why is that?
So market anyways behaves mostly on events, right?
Yeah.
There is a lot of emotions involved in the market, and I think one thing which was very important in this budget was fiscal deficit, because India has been on a journey where India has been very prudent on spending. At the same time, the tax collection base was increasing, which was helping the country reduce its fiscal deficit, and which is important if you are an investor in the market, specifically for FIIs, anybody coming outside of India. So they are looking at these numbers, they are looking at how stable our economy is, and these numbers tells you that. And everybody before the budget was actually expecting that because it's an election year, there's gonna be a lot of money kind of spent on making election positive for BJP, and that actually was not the case. If you look at the budget, it was very prudent. It was not out of the box. It's still out of the box, but it was not crazy enough for us to worry about fiscal deficit. So if you look at the kind of targets that was taken for fiscal deficit for next year was 3.4%, which is very reasonable considering we are already at 3.5, and we are going towards a lower number, not same or at least higher, which was the expectation in the market actually, which was one surprise that was there. But at the same time, I think there's a very good balance that was maintained in the budget. There's a balance between still looking at it as a election budget. There were some incentives given to farmers, and it was gonna impact significantly, because think about it, there are 12 crore farmers in India who has a land below 2 hectares, and what government is giving 2,000 rupees every 4 months, so it's 6,000 rupees per year as a direct transfer to these farmers so that they can live a better life. Now there is one impact, obviously it will help these farmers, but at the same time it will help the government to get re-elected, because it's effectively money that you are giving to voters so that they vote for you. I think whatever said and done, I think it's again positive for the market, because if same government comes again, BJP comes again, I think the market will be better off versus it being a hung government where the government is between multiple parties and nothing getting done. So one of the most important thing in markets is business should go on. It should go at a faster speed than it is going today, and the only way to do it is if there is a decisive government, and that is very important, and which I think with this budget it should be there. Hopefully it will be a very clear win, but let's see which side wins, but I think I am hoping it should be a very clear win.
Yeah.
And not only actually farmers, they have tried to give some incentives to unorganized pensioners as well. There is incentive given to even defense. So there is one rank, one pension yojana which was implemented, and under which government is actually giving decent amount of pension to soldiers, which again gonna impact the market, but not the market actually, but the elections. But at the same time, all these incentives in rural areas specifically gonna impact a lot of stocks who are consumption stocks, who are basically selling products in rural areas. So there is I was looking at the market yesterday and I was seeing Maruti going up, Hero Honda going up. Why these companies are going up? Because the demand for cars and two-wheelers etc. are very high on rural side. If you look at our cities, they are already full of cars, but there is a lot of scope in rural areas. I think that's where the market actually picked up, and a lot of these stocks went up more than 5%.
Okay. So basically, the budget has something for like everyone. Like the middle class has to pay no taxes. For rural areas, farmers get incentives.
So it's there for everyone, but
Yeah.
I think another thing which is interesting is how can government still able to do fiscal kind of prudence at the same time able to give these soaps is because the direct tax collection has been very high. So because of GST, because of a lot of other things like increasing tax base, the direct tax collection is almost up 90%. So from 6 lakh something crores to almost 12 lakh crores, that's a huge jump, and which gives the leverage to the government to give out doles to voters as well. And at the same time, but one thing which was not part of this budget was anything for corporates, and which was expected, but at the same time, something should be there for everyone. But I think corporates will get something in the next budget.
We think the budget was for everyone, and it was well balanced in helping everyone, and we think the government did a good job. Yeah.
And I think with budgets keep on coming and keep on going, what is important is India is on a long-term growth trajectory, and that's gonna be there for long term. And anybody who wants to kind of take a benefit out of it should be investing.
You can invest in tax-saving ELSS funds with the help of the Groww app, and that's the entire overview of the budget. We hope you liked the video. Please remember to like and subscribe to our channel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, have a
Bye.
good day. Yeah.